So we have discussed the inyan of the Emunah of the Torah and the Ani Mamin b'Emunah Shleima Moshe Rabbeinu haya av l'Neviim l'Kaidmim l'Fanav v'l'Abayim Acharav. Because our whole Emunah in the Torah is because we saw on the Har Sinai the way the Rabbi Shalom appointed Moshe Rabbeinu to give us the Torah, and we saw that he wrote down the Torah, and we bear witness to it, and we saw the written Torah, and everything in the written Torah, the Zayir Amidbar of millions of Yidden testified that this is what they really saw with their own eyes, and they heard with their own ears, and they saw the Nisim of Yetzias Mitzrayim exactly the way it's recorded in the Torah, and Kriyas Yamsuf, and Milchemes Amalek, and all the Nisim of the Midbar, the Mun, and the Be'er, and above all, Matan Torah, where every Yid was a Navi, and Rabbi Shalom spoke to every Yid, and they heard the Aseret HaDibros, as the pasuk says, Panim b'panim diber Hashem aleichem. The Rebbe spoke face to face with you, and this is repeated many times in the Torah. That Rabbi Shalom spoke to the entire Torah Midbar, and they saw the Torah written down, and that same Torah was given down to the generations, and something that a multitude of people have that can't be questioned. And that's why all the faiths, all the peoples must be made to the Torah, unless they're outspoken atheists, which means that they're not made to what they see. Because there is an inyan of Emunah, and this Shabbos we're going to bench Chodesh Adar, and we're going to go into the Tkufa, the season of the year of Mechias Amalek, of Purim. And it's a very special Mechias Amalek this year, because it's Toshin Samach, so Rabbi Shalom had to give us two Purims, Purim Aleph and Purim Beis, and Kedoshin. So Al Kopanim, so the inyan of Amalek is a big pillar. A wonderful thing. There are things that we realize, that we could fathom, we could measure. Our five senses give us an idea of our environment. We see, we hear, we touch, we smell, we taste. And then there are things that are above us. So being that we believe in the Torah, and instinctively being children and being the seed of Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, we have Emunah. It's an inborn Emunah, instinctive Emunah. So we know that which we can't understand is also true. When the Torah tells us in Yanim that we can't understand, we believe them. They're above the Seichel. Anything which is above the Seichel, I don't want to go into deep in Yanim now, but it's Yedua. Anything which is L'malam and Seichel ve'ada'as is called Shar HaChamishim, the 50th, Chamishim Sharei Bina, the 50th Shar. And everything that we have in Kedusha has correspondingly on an opposing Eifen in Tumah. Like the pasuk says, "Zeh leumat zeh asah aleikim." Rabbi made a balanced world of bechira. Whatever kaiches we have in Kedusha, we have opposing kaiches in Tumah. So Emunah means to believe in what is above the seichel. So opposingly, there is also kfira above the seichel, where the Seichel dictates that you have to believe, because you see it, and still people are kaifa. Still, they misbelieve, because they don't want to believe. Like I told you the story with the student who didn't want to come to see the way the ceiling falls down, or that lady that wanted that you stop writing about the Nisan because she wants to go to the beach on Shabbos. They don't want to believe. So these are the two opposing forces: Kedusha, Emunah that we got from Moshe Rabbeinu, and his opposition is Amalek. We'll talk in the weeks of Adar. We're going to talk more elaborately about this. Amalek is kfira, not to believe. Kfira. So you see a double nifla by in these parshas. Vayaminu bat Hashem of Moshe Avdei. The Yidden saw Kriyas Yamsuf and they believed. And especially by Matan Torah they believed, because Rabbi Yisrael alone spoke to them. So if they saw, so it's not believing. I don't say that I believe it's day now. I know that it's day now. If I would be in a closed cellar and without any windows, and you're going to show me a watch that it's daytime, I'll believe that it's day. But Baruch Hashem, we have open windows, and I know that it's day. So when they saw the great Nisan by Kriyas Yamsuf, was Pshat Vayaminu Bat Hashem, it means they believed in even what they didn't see. They believed that the Rabbi Yisrael is still bigger and still bigger, and what Moshe Rabbeinu told them, what's going on by Shemayim. So Emunah, the big mitzvah of Emunah, the big shevach of Klal Yisrael, that Yidna Maminim, B'nai Maminim, means they believe in that which is L'mala Menaseichu V'adas. On the opposite, Amalek doesn't believe in what he sees. So that's a pella. By Kriyas Yamsuf, it says, Od Nivhalu Alufei Edom. All the alufim, all the princes of Edom were scared stiff. One of the alufim of Edom, as they are enumerated in Parshas Vayishlach, is Aluf Amalek. So when it says Az Nivalu Alufi Edom, it means that Amalek was also scared stiff. It's a fact. Everybody knew about Kriyas Yamsuf. So Amalek goes several days later, several weeks later, 6 weeks later, 5 weeks. 5 weeks after Kriyas Yamsuf, after Az Nifel Alufa Yadai, Vayavei Amalek, Vayalachem Em Yisrael B'Rafidim. He comes and he has Mulchana. Amalek didn't believe in what he saw. The same we believe in what we don't see. It's the opposite. He doesn't believe in what he sees, and we do believe in what we don't see. These are the two opposing forces of the moon against Kfira. So in the Parsha of Amalek, you have Moshe Rabbeinu, who's the source of Yiddish Emunah, who teaches Emunah, by Emunah Bat Hashem of Moshe Avdei, wages war against Amalek. It's the Milchama of Emunah against Kfira. Vahi Yada Emunah ad Bayashem, it says over there. Well, the Goyim know. The Goyim know that they must believe in the Torah. It's impossible to question the Torah. Just like Lahavdil, even much less than that. Like everybody knows that there was King Alexander of Greece, who conquered the whole world, Alexander the Great. So because it's a thing that millions of people saw and it passed down. So the same thing, more than that, the big Nisan of Yetzias Mitzrayim and Matan Torah, and that a whole nation passes down the same Messiah to the children and the children after that, and all over wherever Yidden are, to have the same Sefer Torah and the same mitzvahs, the same Tzayag mitzvahs. There could be machlokes in many mitzvahs a machlekes zwischen, let's say, Beishamai, Beisilo, Rabbi Lezer, Rabbi Yeshua, because the mitzvahs have so many pratim, countless pratim. Torah is infinite, it's without an end, because we have to darshan from the Torah. So in the biyurim, in the little pratim, in the particular pratim of the mitzvahs, there could be machlekes. But the general mitzvahs is no machlekes in that. And the words of the Torah, everybody has mamish the same Torah. Everybody, wherever Yidden lived, there were Yidden who were exiled after the first Beis Hamikdash, and geographical barriers separated them from the other Yidden for thousands of years. And now we come in contact with them again. They have mamish the same Sefer Torah and the same mitzvahs. It passed down. They must believe. So therefore, the Goyim believe in the Torah. So therefore, even the Christians accept the Torah, but they call it the Old Testament, and they say that Yahweh came and gave them a new Torah. The Islam, the Arabs, hundreds of millions of Arabs, which is the second greatest faith in the world as far as numbers are concerned, after Christianity. They believe in the Torah, but they say that Muhammad was a Navi, and that Hashem Chaz v'Shalom gave Muhammad another Torah, and that's the Koran. They do believe in the Torah. So that's why the Mechabed order Mekaymes HaGedoshim in Eretz Yisrael, and they fight for Yerushalayim, and the Mechabed the Maras HaMachpelah and Keva Rochel and all those places. They believe in the Torah. You can't dispute it. So if they believe in the Torah, why do they have different religions? As I explained you, they can't keep the Torah. It's too hard for them. Like the Chazal tell us that Eisach can't keep a Leitirzach. Yishmael can't keep a Leitinach. They can't take the Torah. So by rationalization, they say Rabbi should change his mind. Chaz v'sholem. Could they be right? Chaz v'sholem, they're wrong. I read for you last time from the Rambam, the way he explains our Emunah, Moshe Rabbeinu. And now I'm going to go further into Perek Teshiyah. So the Heilige Rambam says, it's very clearly written in the Torah, Shehi mitzvah emedes li'olam u'li'olam e'olamim. The Torah is forever and forever and forever. The Torah will never be changed. The Torah in itself tells us that the Torah will never be changed. And the Rabbi Shalom doesn't change his mind. And any guy, any Christian, or any Mohammedan that says that Rabbi Shalom changed his mind, in the Torah it says that the Torah will never be changed. And by the Rabbi Shalom it's not shaykh to change his mind, because he knows what's going to be later. Nothing will be changed in the Torah. No detraction, no detractment, and no addition. Nothing will be added to the Torah, and nothing will be detracted from the Torah. Shenema, eskala davar ashanoichem etzav eschem oisei tishmerim lasais leisei seif olav. It's a pasuk in Dvarim. No, I made a mistake. It's in Re'ei. Leisei seif olav. Don't add, v'leisigra mimenu, and don't take off. Don't detract. Don't add anything to the Torah. Don't take off anything from the Torah. Don't change anything in the Torah. If the Torah says you should keep Shabbos, don't make it Sunday. If the Torah says you're not allowed to eat Chaza, don't say that Rabbi says you could eat Chaza. The Neman, there's another pasuk. V'nigelais. There's a pasuk in Nitzavim. V'nigelais, the Torah which we have, lanu ulevaneinu ad oilam. Last says it's called Divrei HaTorah Zayis. It's for us and our children forever. Halamadata. Shekal Divrei Torah mitzuva nanu lasaisen ad oilam. V'cheinu oimer, and this is repeated many times in the Torah. Chukas oilam l'dayreseichem. By many mitzvahs, it says Chukas oilam l'dayreseichem. Shabbos is one of them. Shabbos can never be changed. V'nemer, and it says Loi b'shamayim hi. The Torah is not in heaven. In other words, don't. It says it's in the Tzavim. Malay b'shamayim ishnema mi yala lonu hashamayim v'nik erhaisa v'nasena. The Torah is not in heaven. The Rabbi Shloim gave the Torah down to earth. Nothing is left in heaven. We can't go up to heaven and take another Torah. We have the Torah down on earth, and on earth nobody has the right to change it. Halamadata she'ein navi rashay lechadish davar meyata. No navi can never be mechadish anything in the Torah. Lefikach im yamayit ish should there appear a person, Bein min u'mais, whether it's from the Goyim, means Muhammad, Bein Yisrael, whether from the Yidden, he means Yashke, V'yasa Aisu Maifes, even if we show you a Aisu Maifes, V'yayma Hashem Shalachai, the Ebesh sent him, L'Haisef Mitzvah, to add a Mitzvah, or L'Graya Mitzvah, or L'Farish B'Mitzvah, or to explain a Mitzvah, Min HaMitzvah is Peira Shaloi Shemanu Mi Moshe, or to explain the Mitzvah not the way we heard it from Moshe Rabbeinu. If it will say that the mitzvahs that we got from Moshe Rabbeinu are not forever and forever, they're not permanent mitzvahs. It was only temporary mitzvahs. He is a Navi Sheker, because he wants to dispute the Nevuah of Moshe, and like it says in Parashas Cha'ei, he gets Misa from the Sanhedrin with Chenek. Al shehizit l'daba b'shem Hashem ashalei tzavahu. Shehu beresh shemaitziv el Moshe, she'amitzvah zayis lanu ulvaneinu ad oilam. And the pasuk also says in the Chumash, v'loi ish eilu v'yechazev. The Rabbi Shloim is not a person that says lies, uven adam v'yisnechem, and he's not an adam that changes his mind. Hahu amar v'la yasa v'deva v'la yikimena. That makes it clear. Torah can never be changed. Christianity can't change the Torah. The Islam can't change the Torah. They want to change it for their purposes, and they close their eyes. And they don't believe in what they saw and what it says beferish in the Chumash. We believe even in what we don't see. We have Emunah versus Kfira. So this is the inyan of our Yiddishkeit. And deep in their hearts, they know the truth. The Goyim know the truth. The intelligent Goyim. Those who study, those who take time to study the Torah, as they call it, the Old Testament, and they have a yediyah in the Gemara, and they see how everything fits into place. They believe. The Pope knows the truth. Cardinal Tanner knows the truth. They all know the truth, but they don't admit the truth. They can't. They can't. Their gaiva and their taiva won't let them admit the truth. Because, in other words, they don't have to be megaya themselves and become Yidden. And they hate the Yidden. What's the secret of the sinner that the Goyim have to the Yidden? Why do Goyim hate the Yidden? What's the secret? We're nice people. We're intelligent people. We're nice-looking people. Yidden are a nice-looking race. Handsome and beautiful. Why do they hate us? We're smart. The fact is we're smarter than them. Their statistics know that the IQ, the average IQ, the Yidden is the highest in the world. If you mekana somebody, you hate him. They're mekana us. They see that we are superior. There's one thing in the Yiddish Siddur that they can't take, and in Russia and all those places where you had those Yiddish mishamadim that told the guy what we have in our Siddur, they forced us to cross it out of the Siddur. They can't take it. Ata v'chatonu mikol ha'amim. They can't take that. We can't have it in the Siddur. I have at home very old Sfarim that were printed in Russia, Jitomis Sfarim, Slavita Sfarim. They were printed by big tzaddikim, and it's collector's items. So in Birchas Hashachar it says, Barata Hashem Elkeinu Melech Haolam Shelo Yasani Akum. They didn't let us write Shelo Yasani Goy. They censored it. So it says Shelo Yasani Akum. Akum makes things, because Akum means Ovid Kechavim Umazalis, to worship the idols and the stars. Well, so I don't worship the stars and the idols. Neither does the Russian Tsar either. But there are many things that parts of Aleinu they took out, many things in the Shmoneh they took out parts, and they couldn't censor the Rishonim. Some Rishonim did censor, but the Rambam they can't censor but there are parts in the Rambam which are censored. In Hilchos Mashiach, in Hilchos Malach, where it talks about Mashiach. In our Rambams, in this particular print, which is a protostat of the Russian Rambams, there are parts taken out. In the Sfardische Rambams, those which were written in the Sfardische countries, in Asia and in Africa, there you have the complete Rambams, and the old manuscripts. They had the Mishmadim censor the Gemara, and they took out wherever it says the word Goy. So in our Gemaras we have the word Akum. The original word isn't Akum, it's Goy. Wherever you have the word Akum in the Gemara, it's Goy. The word is not Chalav Akum, the word is Chalav Goy. There's a certain print in the Gemara that had an Arasisha Mishumid that censored the Gemara. The Gemara in Shabbos, I think that Peiches, brings down the pasuk Simcha Hashem Elokim the Goy Kodesh. Rabbi shall make you a heilige folk. That Gemara says Simcha Hashem Elokim Liyakum Kodesh. He didn't know. So instead of a Goy, you put in the word Akum. They hate us because they're mekanos. They know the truth. They know the truth. The intelligent ones among them know the truth. But they can't take themselves to be Maida. And it requires a lot of courage for a guy to be Maida. Because if he is Maida, he's Megayah himself. There were Kama v'Kama Geirim in the history of Klal Yisrael who were Meisei Nefesh themselves. They were Gayim and they were Meisei Nefesh themselves. They became Geirim. And when they were caught, they were burnt at the stake. Because they were Megayah themselves, but they were Geirim and they were Meisei Nefesh themselves for the truth, because they were seeking the truth. So, from these two p'rakim in the Rambam, which are short p'rakim, and much more elaborately, we have that in other Rishonim, but I can't learn the other Rishonim with you because it's whole Sfarim. Like the whole Sefer HaKuzari is based on the Yesodus of the Emunah, and to explain the Emunah, and the roots of the Emunah. And what the Rambam explains there in short words, he's marich very much over there. So this is the Emunah that Yidden have. Emunah in the Torah, Emunah in Moshe Rabbeinu, Emunah in Torah Shebiksav, because we saw it, Emunah in Torah Shebial Peh, because Rabbi Shalom taught us to believe Moshe Rabbeinu, that when he gives us the pratim, the pratim of Torah Shebial Peh, which is based on psukim in the Torah, we should believe in that, and Baruch Hashem, we're convinced with our Emunah, we're secure with our Emunah, and Baruch Hashem, we don't have to say Shelo Yasani Yakum, with simcha and with nachas and with contentment. Every Yid can get up in the morning and say, oh, I thank you, Rabbi Shalom. Baruch Hashem, Shelo Yasani Goy.